This is the S&P 500 one-day reading for August 7th, 2023. It's currently June 25th, 2023, 8:04 p.m. Eastern Time. The shuffle file we're about to play was created on June 16th, 2023 at 11:10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. So the overall theme and behavior for the day, this is a tricky kind of day because we have some some kind of like contradictory energies going on. So there's going to be some mixed behavior here. Overall, though, my sense is to the upside, and that's the thing about the say TAT card. Sometimes it's mostly bullish with selling at the end, and sometimes it's like a little bit bullish and then mostly selling. It depends, but there's a peak or crest there, and it looks like we probably see that peak or crest somewhere around maybe a little bit after midday. Behavior around the highest high, we have selling from a brief peak that's easily missed, followed by a decline through multiple support levels, and then behavior around the lowest low for the day. We have a notable move higher, pushing breaking out, a move higher out of the low, showing a breakout on the scale of at least a one-day chart. I'm advised to trade around that Prince of Swords energy, which is a lot of price change. Sometimes it's a lot of volatility increasing with price swinging as we move forward in time. Sometimes it's a big move to the downside. Sometimes it's a big move to the upside. Really depends. Overall, though, I think it's probably a move to the downside. And we see it roughly around like the early afternoon session. So we likely open lower. If we don't open lower in the pre-market, then what we'll do is we'll break down. Like there's a little bit of a rally along a diagonal trend line, and that ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through the diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. There's some sideways rotation right around the open. After that decline, it takes us to like an important support level around the open where we see sideways rotation. It's like a sharp drop that'll stand out in that period of sideways rotation, and we revisit a support level there that was recently a past opportunity. So like right here around the open, there's a support level that we're revisiting. That's an opportunity. One could open up a long position there. And then we have a key resistance highlighted in the first half hour. There's a lot of price movement to the upside between roughly 10 and 12 o'clock, and it looks like more than one big move higher, possibly two really close to each other between 10 and like 10:15, and then another one closer, like possibly even a breakout around like 11:30, 11:45-ish. And then there's a peak or crest that's revisited in the midst of some erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level that takes place midday. There's a peak or crest that's revisited that was recently a past opportunity, and it's in the midst of that sideways kind of will be attempting to establish support. No, actually, I think that comes next. So in the midst of that erratic behavior where we revisit that crest, that takes place after that breakout that we had around 11:30, 11:45. Erratic behavior, crest. That crest is where I would exit the long position for a day trade. There may be even a scalp in here to open up a short position in anticipation of a notable decline between roughly 1 and 2. It's kind of mixed, but there'll be a notable decline taking us to a low. This is either a low for the day, or more likely than being a low for the day, it's going to be a trough that really stands out after a high. And then it looks like out of the low, which in all likelihood is a low, or just an important trough, there's a big move out of that, but it's probably low. There's a big move out of that to the upside, and it gets kind of mixed in the last 2 hours. We go from a low to a big move higher to sideways rotation along key support that increases with it looks like bearish momentum, followed by a big move right around the close to the upside out of a low again. So it's like two troughs there, or a double low. Sharp drop off of key resistance right at the close. And then it looks like we open higher. It is nullified. The reason why, what makes me think that maybe this is lower, like these are lows, is because the overall trend direction, never mind, these aren't lows, these are troughs, guys. But the overall volume for the day is going to be bearish, telling me that there's a significant amount of decline over the weekend. And we open really like to the downside here based on that. If I'm wrong about that, then these are probably lows. But I think probably that's what happens. So even though we do some bullish behavior towards the middle or early afternoon, it's still overall bearish. In any case, most likely we open higher. Based on the 1 year, it's kind of hard to determine that. But when we look at the 8th, I think we probably open higher there in the pre-market. And we'll talk more about that in the prediction for the 8th. Thanks for watching, my friends. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It really helps out the channel. And as always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You do so here on the resources tab. Guys, the rule of karma is so important to follow it every time. It doesn't matter the dollar amount. It could be $1. It could be $100,000. The point is to follow it and follow through on the completion of that Tarot for Traders trade process. A successful Tarot for Traders trade utilizing this information has within it the rule of karma, and that allows for proper manifestation moving forward of more wealth and abundance. So it's essential that you follow this rule every time, guys. Doesn't matter if it's $1. There's people that send $1. There's people that send a lot more. It really doesn't matter. It matters that you follow the rule of karma. And that rule is 5% of the profits from the information on this channel should be donated forward to one of these charities. 5% of the profits should be donated back to the channel, and then that leaves you with 90% left over to make sure you spend that out of love. As long as you follow those rules, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel, my friends. I'll see you guys on the next one.